to inspire the people of Nigeria to rise up and set themselves free, because they are human beings. They are a great people who deserve to be free. They are an excellent people who deserve to be led by the best and not some of their worst. I don't know what they did to the minds of Nigerians that they have become so scared of raising a finger even when they are being massacred like goats and chickens. Who the hell is that person that can kill Nigerians unchallenged? Dear fellow Africans, are you aware that your continent is the richest continent on the surface of this earth? And do you ask yourself this simple question? Why Africa has the poorest people on earth? By the end of the Almighty, something to think about. In this generation. Do you understand the reason for the scramble for Africa once again? While you are busy defending God, they are coming back to retake Africa through various schemes, implanting the wrong leadership as the basis of leadership for Africa. Dear fellow Africans, are you aware that your continent is the richest continent on the surface of this earth? This simple question. Why Africa has the poorest people on earth? By the end of the Almighty, something to think about. In this generation. Do you understand the reason for the scramble for Africa once again? While you are busy defending God, various schemes, implanting the wrong leadership as the basis of leadership for Africa. Dear, I will deploy every tool America has afforded me to inspire the people of Nigeria to rise up and set themselves free, because they are human beings. They are a great people who deserve to be free. They are an excellent people who deserve to be led by the best and not some of their worst. I don't know what they did to the minds of Nigerians that they have become so scared of raising a finger even when they are being massacred like goats and chickens. Who the hell is that person that can kill Nigerians unchallenged? Good evening from Houston, Texas, United States of America. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now. Global Matters are rising. Good morning, Africa, and reggae at its best on ONN. I come with you today, with an update of what is taking place in the Middle East. Yes, the war between Israel and Iran on one side and the involvement of the United States. Yes, a lot is taking place. Since yesterday, so much has taken place, um, climaxing the death of the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the maximum leader of Iran. Yes, who died as a result of airstrikes by the United States and Israel. Yes. And we are also aware of, it's not confirmed yet, about the death of the next person who was supposed to be taken over from him. So we are in a long haul. But in Nigeria, the whole thing is taking a new twist. Anyway, we always expect that. In my broadcast yesterday, I prayed that something will not start in Nigeria. But again, it happened. Street protests erupting in the north of Nigeria. And why is what we don't know. Why it happens every time there's a problem in the Middle East or anywhere in Afghanistan and Pakistan where the United States is involved. Some Nigerians, especially in the north of Nigeria, will sponsor protests. And most of those protests had led to fatalities in the past. We have a lot of problems in Nigeria. Nigeria, as it stands right now, has a collapsed economy. Nigeria has a collapsed security infrastructure. Nothing is working in Nigeria. We are not Arabs, and Nigeria is not an Islamic country. Yes, there are Muslims in Nigeria, but there are some other religious adherents in Nigeria. Why do all these protests erupt all the time in Nigeria? Is one question that we have not been able to address. Yes, yes. So let me thank all those who are joining us right now. Some of you are first timers, some are returning subscribers. We welcome you to ONN. ONN is a global movement for peace, security, and justice. And that is what we represent. We bring information, issues around Nigeria, Africa, here in the United States, and around the world. So we welcome you to yet another edition of the Global Matters Arising here from our studio, Legacy Studio in Houston, Texas. And we do hope that you enjoy your stay. What we do here is an interactive session. So express your opinion. We can talk about that. You don't have to agree with everything that we say, but we try as much as we can to stay on the path of the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Today, we are talking about what is taking place in Nigeria, in reaction to what is happening in the Middle East involving Iran, Israel, and the United States. Now, what is Nigeria's business in this whole thing? Well, I will tell you that there is a correlation, yes, of, uh, uh, um, of what is taking place in the Middle East and the reactions we are getting from one part of Nigeria, that's the north of Nigeria, where there are as much Muslims. But Nigeria is an African country. Nigeria is a secular state. Nigeria is not an Arab country. Nigeria has a lot of problems that have not been attended. And I find it very difficult to understand why a Nigerian or Nigerians, with all the problems their country has, are protesting about the death of Ali Khamenei. All right, Ali Khamenei, thousands of miles away from the African continent. Yes, so we're going to be examining some of the issues at stake and what is likely responsible for the reactions Nigerians are putting up out there in the north of Nigeria, not the whole of Nigeria, in the north of Nigeria. So before I do that, I'm going to play something about the African Union, their response that they just released about what is taking place in the Middle East. So just take a listen.
I have the honor to deliver this statement on behalf of the 83 members of the Security Council, namely the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Liberia, and my own country, Somalia. We thank the Presidency for promptly convening this emergency meeting on the situation in the Middle East. The A3 thanks the Secretary General for his thorough update on this worrying and rapidly evolving development in the Middle East and its implications on international peace and security. We also echo the Secretary General's message of today's military escalation in the Middle East. We welcome the representative of Iran to this meeting. Mr. President, the AP aligns itself with the statement of the chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, on the U.S.-Iran military escalation issued on February 28th of 2026. The reported military strikes carried out by the United States in coordination with their Israeli forces against targets inside the Islamic Republic of Iran and Iran's subsequent response represents a perilous and deeply troubling escalation, one that marks a serious intensification of hostilities in the Middle East and threatens to engulf the entire region in an uncontrollable cycle of violence, suffering, and pain. The A3 condemns the missiles and drone attacks carried out by Iran against the sovereign territories of Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates.
It just really helps to keep my team members in compliance with HIPAA laws.
24/7, 365. We all know what's going on.
The A3 reiterates that all member states must respect their obligations under international law, including the Charter, which prohibits the threat of the use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state or in any other manner inconsistent with the purposes of the United Nations. These actions risk further destabilizing the Middle East and underscore the urgent imperative to safeguard broader peace and internal stability, particularly as the geographic scope of military activity expands beyond the initial parties to the conflict. The A3 remains steadfast in its commitment to the fundamental principles of international law and the Charter of the United Nations. At the same time, the A3 recognizes the concerns of all states in the region, which must be addressed through dialogue and peaceful means in accordance with international law and the UN Charter. We believe that all member states share a responsibility to act in accordance with these commitments, and that these are essential foundations for international cooperation and peaceful coexistence. Mr. President, the A3 calls for restraint, urgent de-escalation, and sustained dialogue. All parties must act fully in accordance with international law and the United Nations Charter to safeguard international peace and security. Our position underscores the importance of dialogue, the peaceful settlement of disputes, and respect of international law. It's important for all parties to exercise restraint and responsibility, uphold international law, and avoid any actions that could escalate tensions or threaten regional peace and stability. The A3 stresses that the spillover effects of these hostilities imperil countless lives and threaten to deepen existing crises. The A3 expresses its solidarity with the people of the region and reiterates that the African Union's commitment to peace, stability, and mutual respect among nations and regions. Mr. President, in this regard, the A3 urges all parties to prioritize diplomatic engagements, including the ongoing international mediation efforts facilitated by the Sultanate of Oman to prevent further deterioration and uphold international rules-based order. At this critical juncture, the A3 calls for the swift return to the path of negotiations as the only viable means to reach a sustainable agreement regarding the Iranian nuclear program. Sustainable peace can only be achieved through diplomacy, not through force. The A3 strongly reaffirms the urgent necessity of establishing a Middle East zone free of nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction, applicable to all states in the region without exception, in accordance with relevant international resolutions. We also stress the need for all Middle Eastern countries to join the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons as a step toward regional and global security. We emphasize the paramount importance of protecting civilians and civilian infrastructure, including in the context of cross-border strikes and retaliatory actions, and as well as refraining from targeting nuclear facilities that are under International Atomic Energy Agency safeguards, in line with relevant IAEA resolutions and the United Nations Security Council decisions. The A3 reaffirms its commitment to multilateralism and the principles of the United Nations Charter. We urge all parties to act with responsibility and wisdom, placing the well-being of the region's people above all other considerations. It's important to seize this moment to redouble our efforts for de-escalation and to support a diplomatic process that can deliver peace, stability, and security for all states in the Middle East. The A3 stands ready to support all efforts within this Council and in cooperation with regional and international partners to facilitate a peaceful, inclusive, and lasting resolution to the situation in the Middle East. I thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I will speak directly to three areas today: the principles,
All right.
the facts.
All right. That was a statement from the African Union representatives to the United Nations in an emergency United Nations Security Council meeting. Essentially, he did not say anything. He repeated the same old rhetoric that we've been hearing since 1963. All right, conflict resolution that is not matched with action. Okay, so we are not heading anywhere in this whole thing. Some people act out of control, and some think they can do whatever they want with nobody questioning them. That is where we are in a mess right now. The United Nations is a disaster. Honestly, if you ask me as an African countries have no business being there because that is a most unjust organization. That they are the cause of all the troubles we are having on earth. An organization that is not democratized cannot pilot the affairs of the world. An agency or international body, the apex international body that is supposed to be like, okay, yeah, we are ready to solve a global problem. They don't solve anything. They make it worse. How on earth is it that Africa, that has the largest bloc of 54 countries that come to the United Nations every September to come and tell their stories of woes and failure, since 1963, when Emperor Haile Selassie made that epic statement, yes, the most powerful speech ever made by any world head of state, when he asked this question, until the philosophy that holds one race inferior and the other one race superior and the other one inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, there'll be war. And since then, there has been war. Yes, there has been war. Yes, there has been war. And it has been getting out of control. Now, the question that I have today is, why is any Nigerian responding, protesting because an Iranian president was murdered? What millions of Nigerians have been murdered since the past nearly 15 years. Millions, not just 10. And millions have been displaced. Yes. And the world did not come to the help of Nigeria, to the aid of Nigeria. Iran did not come to the aid of Nigeria. In fact, Iran has been fingered as a big problem, funding and training terrorists and funding terrorism in Nigeria. Maybe perhaps their allies in the north of Nigeria are the ones, rising up and protesting. And as usual, and I hope in this time that they will not massacre innocent Igbos, innocent Yorubas, innocent Hausas, innocent people from other parts of the country who do not share in their warped religious ideology. Because that was what I was a victim of 1991. Here, I ended up with this in my country because some people were mad about what is happening somewhere that has nothing to do with Nigeria. The rest of the world have abandoned Africa. Yes, they only come to take from Africa. They never give anything back to Africa. Well, if you are just joining us for the very first time, please, we welcome you and we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. And we thank our returning subscribers for the great job that they have done to bring us where we are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And these questions must be asked. The question that I'm asking, I am speaking I'm speaking for millions of Africans, maybe with the exception of a few who benefit from slaughtering fellow Africans. Yes, and in Nigeria it's worse. Nigeria is going through a very, very turbulent period. Yes, in its history. Maybe three geopolitical regions out of three geopolitical regions out of the country's six are under siege. And the siege is spreading down south of the country. People come, terrorist organization, they say ISWAP, there's ISIS, there is Boko Haram, and there is Fulani jihadists, all, all with AK-47 rocket propelled grenade pointed against the people of Nigeria, the indigenous people of Nigeria. The world has not seen any reason to convene a United Nations emergency security meetings to address the crisis, escalating crisis in Nigeria. They will wait. They are going to wait like they waited between 1967 and 1970, where over 6 million Nigerians were massacred. And then again, they are going to wait like they waited if some years ago when over 1 million Rwandans were massacred. Yeah, because African lives do not matter to them. Yeah, so why is an African, really? Why is an African? And why are African countries, what are they doing at the United Nations? And why should an African be angry, protesting, and wanting to bring down the sky because one man, Ali Khamenei, was murdered by airstrikes fired by the United States and Israel? Do they care about us? Yes. How many of them care? Oh, they don't care. Iranians, how? How do they care? All they bring to us is religion. Religion that will divide our people. Iran has a finger in what is happening in Nigeria. It is a stupid, only an idiot from Nigeria that will be protesting. But let me, before I proceed, I'm going to read some statements here now before I leave that. Hey, Epstein, you say you love that hat. Thank you very much, man. I love you. I love you too. Thank you for longing it. Yes. And it said the man who spoke bullshit. I agree with you because he didn't say anything different from what we've been hearing since the past. What 1945 was when the United Nations was formed as the League of Nations, and I think they changed the name to United Nations in 1963. And since then, it has been every time the same rhetoric. Every time, especially African countries will come and cry and cry. Nobody listens to that. They don't care about you. They care only about your resources. They care about creating wars for you. So they get you distracted while they are taken from you. Yes, so this is most stupid for any African to get involved with what is taking place in that place. People who don't care about us, none of them do care. When they show that they care, it's about something. All right? So, hey, thank you very much. Yes, he said bullshit. That's what he said. He said, if you ask me as an African and on behalf of the rest of the world, I just want to point out that we would never ask you. All right, so maybe he said nothing. That is exactly what my own opinion is. My own problem is with Nigerians. Yeah, and it's troubling to see Nigerians because of the ignorance that some people teach in the mosque. They don't tell them the truth. They keep recycling this ignorance from generation to generation. People are going into the mosque to rape Hausa women. The emirs, the sultans, fake sultan, and all of that, they will keep quiet. Many houses are being massacred every day. They are kidnapped. They impose taxation on them in their farms. They prevent them from accessing their farms. Everywhere, they set villages ablaze. They occupy their lands, displace them, and half of the population is right now in internally displaced people's camp, IDP camps, in their home country. The United Nations is not doing anything. Nobody is doing a damn thing. All right, nobody. Iran is not doing anything but escalating it. The sources of military training is traced to Iran and Turkey. Yes, yes, that's why when America struck on December 25th, 2025, the first place they went to was Turkey. Why Turkey? What did they go to Turkey to do? Yes, those are countries that aid and abet terrorism in Nigeria and the rest of Africa. We don't care about them. They should leave our continent alone. And any Nigerian who is protesting over the death of maximum leader Ali Khamenei, who has killed thousands of his own people, is a bastard. You are not a Nigerian. If you want to protest, board a plane or go out by however you want to go to Iran and defend Iran. Iranians were jubilating that a criminal, a rogue, has been removed from their space. And you beastly Nigerian animals, you are protesting. Protesting about what? What are you protesting for? What are you protesting for? Your people are being raped. Your people are being kidnapped. People go to the church and they kidnap people there. They go to the mosque and massacre people there. They go to the villages, sack and burn down those villages. Yes. And they shout Allahu Akbar. Saad Abubakar never says anything. He's the one I believe is sponsoring the protest in Sokoto. Yes. Erufai does not say anything. Atiku Abubakar does not say anything. Yes. Isa Pantami does not say anything. Yes. Abubakar Malami, he will keep quiet. Yes. It is only when there is something happening in River State, they will see the sense of the Northern unity and they start defending. But the same people who are killing fellow Muslims in the north of Nigeria, in Kano, they are massacring them. In Sokoto, they are massacring Hausa people. Muslim, they are Muslim. Hausa Muslim, they are massacring them. In Kebbi, they are doing the same thing. Here in Zamfara, they are destroying them. Yes. But when it is in Iran, they find their strength. They find their truth that elude them. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Nigerians, oh, Nigerians, hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is madness. Pure and total madness. Ali Khamenei, in my opinion, based on what I know and as a Nigerian with the know of what is taking place and what Iran is doing in Nigeria, Iran has a huge followership in Nigeria. Ali Khamenei is not a martyr, but a goddamn terrorist. He killed his own people in addition to sponsoring terrorism in countries, including Nigeria, in defense of a warped extreme religious ideology that destroyed the Iranian economy and made its majority most vulnerable. His associates in Nigeria should face the same consequences as his if they don't stop terrorizing our people in Nigeria. They should stop. And it's only bastards who are Nigerians that will be rising up in protest in support of this killer on the floor, on the soil of Nigeria. Yes. He's a disaster. His people are heaving a sigh of relief. Yes, millions, thousands of Iranians have been murdered. Let them start from there. We should be asking questions. These are the people who want Sharia in our country. Sharia is an Arab code. We are Africans. We should be making laws that are Africans and that are bearing on Africa and not important slave Arab laws. The Arabs enslaved Africans for 700 years. 700 years. 700 solid years. The Arabs enslaved the people of Africa. 700 years. And it was painful enough that they enslaved us for 700 years. What they did to the male slave, they castrated all the male slaves so they would not procreate in the Arab world. And then turned our women who were slaves into sex toys. You know, and sadly, these things are still happening in the Arab world. African women are traded in the Arab world and used as sex slaves. We know that they are having 700 years. And then they gave us their religion, Islam. Honestly, with the history in mind, I won't be a Muslim with that history in mind of what the Arabs did to the African. But a lot of Africans are Muslims. Maybe perhaps there's something convincing them. I won't be a Muslim if I had a choice, and like I had, and I decided that I would not be. With that history in mind, history of 700 years of slavery in the hands of the Arabs, and what they did to our males, castrated all of them, years for 700 years, and then turned our mothers into sex toys. I won't. But again, some are. They chose that. You know, it's a mind thing. A man is a victim or a beneficiary of what he or she was taught. So I guess that's why. So I am not holding them to it. But they must always act with questions on their minds that these people who did this to us, can they be our friends? Did they apologize for their evil against us? Why are they still inspiring us against one another? They are the ones harming the Fulanis. They are the ones harming those who are driving the stupid ideology of Boko Haram. They are the ones aiding them. They are the ones giving them military training. They are the ones promoting genocide in Nigeria. People should start asking questions. That's where. Then after they did what they did, the Europeans came. For another 400 years, the black man was hammered. 400 years of slavery across the Atlantic. Yes, our people were created like dogs and then treated like animals and distributed in destinations across Europe and America. And that's why we are here. Yes, we were never treated right. The African man is supposed to be questioning himself right now and not acting a fool. Yes, or being a puppet to those who did us this harm. If the world had a conscience, the world should be giving the African people the reparation that they gave to the Jews. Yes, that were massacred by Adolf Hitler. How many of them? 6 million. How many black people were massacred and thrown into the Atlantic for the shark? How many people died across the Sahara Desert when they were being transported to the Arab world? Millions of them. Who paid the African? No, because the African life does not matter. And then the African man is still fooling himself, not asking enough questions, not uniting. Yes, yes, yes. Marcus Mosiah Garvey shouted, "Unite Africa, unite Africa." Yes, Emperor Haile Selassie shouted, Kwame Nkrumah shouted, Modibo Keita, Sekou Toure, yes, Jomo Kenyatta, Julius Nyerere, all of them. Yes, Abdul Nasser, all of them were talking about Africa unite, Africa unite. Bob Marley came into it, put it in a song that is unforgettable, that we play every day. What is wrong with the African mind? What is wrong with the African people? How come? Why are they not uniting? You are fighting the battle of Iran because you are a Muslim. You are a bastard. Is it about Islam or about your survival? They are doing everything for their own strategic survival. And you are here. Everywhere you go, the African man is at the bottom of the ladder. Everywhere you go, even in their continent, they are the bottom. Those who think that they are in heaven in Africa, they are puppets, taking pittances from those who rob us of our resources, create wars and strive for us, and will become their foot soldiers in their war in our continent. And we are so stupid that we cannot think. Yes, you are protesting that Ali Khamenei was murdered down United States, down. You call America is a satanic country. For real, is it fair? Is it really just? All these names. How long are we going to sit down in that mental stagnation that America is this evil country? We have been hearing this rhetoric all our lives. We need to ask some new questions. Why? Why? You are not seeing what one man will sit down. That is the Ayatollah. He will sit down and tell a whole country what they will eat. He will sit down and tell a whole country how they will dress. He will sit down and tell a whole country how they will act. One man. Yes, something is not right. And that is what they want to institute in Nigeria. That is why they are desperate about taking over Nigeria violently and putting Sharia law for us. No, Sharia is dead, and we're going to push until it's done. Thank you, America, for what you are doing. You make mistakes, but in what you are doing right now, the United States, I beg you, of you, do not leave Iran worse off. America has never been a good finisher. So this time, I would think that you should use a new model now. If Ali Khamenei is gone now, there's need for a regime change. There's need to bring somebody who can respect neighbors, who can build a relationship with the state of Israel, who can work with the state of Israel to help establish a second state for the Palestinians, so that state, that region will live in peace, and then we'll have peace all over the world. Yes. Will America is going to be able to do this? I believe that's what the people of Iran want. I think the Iranians are tired of being led by people with hammers in their hands. They want a liberal exchange rate between the US dollar and the Iranian currency. I cried. Yes, I started asking questions. But why is Iran investing so much in this nuclear armament with an economy as bad as theirs, suffering from years of sanctions? A time should come to a people when they will start asking themselves questions. How long are we going to be doing this? Their economy is so bad, even worse than the Nigerian economy. Yes, if an economy can be worse than the Nigerian economy, that's frightening. I saw the protests. I saw how jubilant the Iranians were at the first time the United States conducted those 15-day strike. And that they came back, the Iranians came and quelled, and thousands of people lost their lives. Something got to give. But my advice to the United States and Israel is this, and the rest of the world: don't destroy Iran completely. Make sure you leave their institutions that can be built upon. If you want to democratize the country, it must be painstakingly planned. Not the same thing that happened in Iraq when Paul Bremer just woke up and dissolved the Iraqi army, and then hell went loose. We got to do something better than this. I hope this time will present a better opportunity for America to know how to finish well. That the situation in Libya is sad. You know what Libya turned to. I know that during the presidential campaign, that President Donald Trump said that if he was president, that thing that happened in Libya would never have happened. I want to have a reason to believe that that would never have happened, because that was a stable country. Nothing wrong. They had one man. Gaddafi was not the best of all. Yeah, I do have some problems with Gaddafi and his conduct because he was becoming overbearing to the extent that he went to Ethiopia and asked African traditional rulers to crown him king of kings. I don't know why he wanted that so desperately. Yes, there were suspicions, but that wasn't enough. The suspicion, what was going on was manageable. The economy of Libya was good. Libyans had a very high literacy rate, and the people were well taken care of. So the personal behavior of Gaddafi wasn't enough. But Obama and Sarkozy came together and destabilized that country to pave way for the destabilization of the Sahel region that spilled into Nigeria. Look at where Nigeria is now, destabilized. And then Iran has been putting its fingers on Nigeria. Yes, aiding and abetting terrorist groups that are destroying the country. So if he dies, why should a Nigerian be protesting? Nigerians should be celebrating. Yeah, I know some Nigerians will celebrate, but they will not celebrate the way the protesters will celebrate. Yes, because they are controlled. They are well mannered. They are not beasts. They are not animals. So that is the difference. Yes, it is very sad. Yes. All right. There was a post that I made here on Facebook. Some people are reacting. Look at the names. Some people are saying. All right. The post was that he is not a martyr, but a goddamn terrorist. He killed his own people in addition to sponsoring terrorism in countries, including Nigeria, in defense of a warped extreme religious ideology that destroyed the Iranian economy and made its majority most vulnerable. His associates in Nigeria will face the same consequences as his if they don't stop terrorizing Nigeria and the Nigerian people. Now, there were some reactions to that. Okay, it is not real, has no high ground here. Please stop it. I don't know what that person. Now there's a one from John Simpkins. A leader of any country that proclaims itself a country of democracy and kill women and children unnecessarily is a terrorist country. Israel, America, and Russia. There is no high road. You are at the curb. Yeah, those are some of those extremists, saying all that. Yes, but they forget, they don't ask questions about what these dictators have done to their countries. How many people they have killed? Thousands of them. Nobody questions that you say anything, you are gone, or you are missing, or you run out of the country. I know a lot of Iranians, I have them as friends, who ran away from Iran. Yeah, because of the high-handedness of Ali Khamenei. I know a lot of them. I used to have a Mercedes Benz. Yeah, my mechanic Mazia. Yes. I asked him question, when are you going back to Iran? He will be laughing. He said, no, man, I'm not going back to that hell. I just escaped. I can't go back there anymore. So I believe that those people who want to go back to a liberalized Iran. And these guys are very, very talented people that could go in there and contribute to the growth and development of Iran, and especially its economy. Yes, but here they are here, stuck in the United States. Then another one said, "Just who are you? You are about the stupidest people of all time. Ali was a great man, and his death means nothing. He was 86 years old. You really think that at that age he was the only one making all the critical decisions? His death is symbolic, but changes nothing." Well, that is your opinion. And Samuel Chik Agnje, are you an African? If you are, then you will know the Middle East is going through the same persecution Africans went through and still going through in the hands of the West. The only difference is that the Middle East has decided to fight back and not just give up. Remember Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah, and other Pan-Africanists were labeled terrorists and murdered. Yeah, well, I am an African. Let me answer you. All right. The Middle East is going through the same thing, the same persecution. Well, I don't know. Maybe if they tell us that they are going through the same persecution, we'll perhaps listen. But unfortunately, you are not a Middle Easterner. And from the vague things that I know about the Middle East, I didn't think that they went through as much as the African people went through. That they are fighting back, I don't agree that they are fighting back. They know what they are fighting. They are another set of colonialists on their own, and they want to control Africa, and that is exactly what they have been doing through Saudi Arabia and Iran and all that. So that is what it is. They have their story, we have our own story. When we were in trouble and we are still in trouble, none of them showed up. The only thing that they did was made it worse, and have continued to make it worse. And they used the vehicle of Islam to make it worse. Their brand of Islam is warped. Yes, Islam of blood, Islam of terrorism, and all that. We don't want that. We want a people who will see us as human beings and respect us for who we are. I know that they don't like us as much as they pretend that they do. So, but I will prefer the ones that are bold enough. They are not killing us. Yes, I am not a Christian. I am not. Just the same way I will not be a Muslim, because I look at the history. Yeah, what happened to us by people who use God as a vehicle, or use religion as a vehicle to put us in jail. So that's not it. I'm a die-hard African. Yes, but that I'm die-hard African does not mean that I will hate people, because my ancestors told me that these people are evil. I have to hate them. We cannot continue to recycle that hate. Africa went through turbulence. Africa went through slavery. Africa went through colonialism. Africa went through imperialism. Africa went through apartheid. And Africa is going through globalization. We are the victim of everything that they came. So what did the Arab suffer? What is their war? They didn't suffer as much as anything near us. Yes, because they are not different from the white people. They have the same skin color. Their classification, they are Caucasians. They are brothers and sisters. They have the same traits. Yeah, so what is different? So they know what they are fighting. But we are Africans, from where the civilization of mankind started. We should not be relegated to the background. We have allowed ourselves. Why are we fighting their battle? They are fighting. We should mind our business. Develop, develop, develop. We should create a new way of choosing leaders that can respond to our needs, that can do things our own way, that can make us. We don't have to be at war with anybody. We can partner with people who show us love, and not those who want to come and exploit us. Our relationship has always been being victims of exploitation. We are tired, and we should not continue to do that. And that is why the Fulanese elites in the north of Nigeria have deliberately brought a schism, created a confusion in Nigeria as a state, by denying the critical population of the country access to opportunities to grow and develop. Yes, and there are also people, they deliberately refuse to educate them, so that they can be using them for purposes like this. They can use them for street purposes like this. All they need to do, put Allah into it. Anything that God is in is a go, and they will go at it and start destroying. And that is what it's. I'm happy for one thing, that the Hausa people are learning fast now. The Hausa people now know that religion was used to blindfold them, to exploit them. So they are not part of it. In fact, I was so happy the other day when I read a release by the Hausa people that they are not part of what the Fulani extremists are doing in Nigeria in the name of Islam. They are sequestering themselves, and the whole of Nigeria is following through in that direction. So that is a struggle that all of us must put our hands and our lives into, so we can build a true country. If the country is well, nice, united, America cannot come and invade Nigeria successfully. If the whole people of Nigeria are good, everybody is living, they can't come. America is a very sensitive country. I live here. It's a very sensitive and responsive country. They know when to back off, when they are told in a very strong language that you can't come here and invade. Yes, so, but when you give them the lacuna to do it, they will do it. And that they are the only country that can invade a country and still, work towards stabilizing the country. They have not done a great job. They didn't do a great job in Iraq, and I believe that they will do a great job now in Iran if it gets to that point where they have to put their boots on the ground. Yes, America is only one country on earth that punishes its companies that goes outside the United States to commit crime. They did it to Halliburton. Yes. So it's only that country that can do it. Do they make mistakes? Yes, they have make a lot of blunders. Their foreign policies sometimes are not the best, but they are not as Jim Crow as what these people with hammer of the gun and everything, with one man making all these decisions. They can. Yeah, they cannot. So that is the difference. All right. So I hope I was able to answer your question, Samuel. And another one, I don't want to even read that crap, Yes, as Sam Samson said, I agree. So are other Muslim Arab leaders who are sponsoring terrorism and destabilization in sub-Saharan Africa. Pure, they are enemies of the black people. That's somebody saying that now, and that is true. All they want, all they do, they come with Islam, they come with a religion to create confusion. They never come to solve any problem. They have declared a war. Any person who is not a Muslim is not a human being. That is where the Fulani extremism is taken off from. Tete Bismarck, you believe that the story about America since you were born. Who did Iran want to war with being sleeping? That's your problem. Nasser Ali Mohammed, you are in the darkest corner of the planet Earth. Yeah, that's what they say because mental slavery. Yes, mental slavery needs serious education. They need ECT, electroconvulsive therapy, to wake them up to reality. The question is that's Eckhart Peter asking. The question is one, why did God decide to leave everything in the hands of mankind? Yet he knows that man will do all his will, either to destroy or create. That is a question. That is a basic human right issue. God gave you the right, basic human right, to make a choice, make choices. But with every choice comes with consequences. And we deal with some of all the consequences of the bad choices we made. Yes. And anyway, oh my God, oh my God. Yes. Martin Kapeshwa, mind your words and watch your mouth. Ayatollah was a revolutionary defending his country against UL Israel aggression. Iran has got a legitimate right to fight the invading forces. Ayatollah was a dictator. He was not a revolutionary. Revolutionary respects basic human rights. They respect the people that they are fighting for. They don't kill those that they are fighting for. They don't condemn them to death. This man had killed thousands of his own citizens. So, in that regard, he is not a revolutionary. All right. Ndebo Nkpaheni. We know that they have list of countries that they're going to attack. Even Turkey is NATO, but it's net. All those have oil. America want it. And if they collapse the country, overthrow the government, and put their puppet, make sure it's selfish to citizens, not to care about minerals, but about evil treatment. When you are sick, you're tired of oppressing your people, they attack and overthrow. Overthrow you. That is what they used Ukraine against Russia, because Putin was sent to be the puppet to Russia, same as Traore, Burkina Faso. But they keep failing the picture. All right, you show us, tells us you are still at preschool. I wonder you finished your homework and you failed last month because. All right, yes, that's part of it. Part of it, that mental problem. Yeah, it's here I'm coming from Africa. Yes, yes, that's very naive, parochial, and myopic analysis, devoid of any semblance of veneer of intelligence. Yeah, here they are. See this. See how they capture the African mind. That is why they are not reasoning out of the box. Okay. Yes. Ah. All right. Now Denzel Matadi. It said, protecting your sovereignty is not a crime. I am not a Muslim, but I feel the pain America kills Osama bin Laden, and still the law justifies them as they are the world's gods. Ah, now you are talking about Osama bin Laden. You didn't talk about how many people Osama bin Laden murdered, innocent children that he buried alive. Yeah, because of his pursuit of his warped religious ideology. Yes, it is sad that people are thinking this way. Yes, that is one of those those uh, those statements, you know, that people are reacting. They are busy. African protesting, a Nigerian protesting against what? You have more problems to deal with. You abandon your problems and you are protesting over another person's problem. Yes, the arrogant enforcement of mass ignorance, poverty, illiteracy is the greatest weapon in the hands of religious bigots in the north of Nigeria. And they have used it to repress the Hausa people for 222 years. And they have used it to stunt the growth and development, progress and prosperity, and the national security and unity of Nigeria. That is why the people must unite and rise up against them now and not tomorrow. Now, now, now. Now, now, now. Yes, right now. Right now. We must wake up.
Why Iranians were celebrating the killing of their supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, who has been cruel to the citizens of Iran. Shiites and Nigerians were protesting over the killing of the same man that Iranians were celebrating his death. In fact, I don't know who did Nigerians this. You can see the video at the top. As Iranians were rejoicing, then look at the one below. You can see Shiites in Nigeria protesting over the death of the man. Why Iranians were celebrating
Yes.
the killing of their supreme leader, Ali
Iranians
Khamenei, who
are
has been
celebrating,
cruel to the citizens of
and
Iran.
Nigerians are
Shiites and
protesting.
Nigerians were protesting over the
Can you
killing of the
imagine that?
same man that Iranians were celebrating his death.
Something is
In fact,
wrong.
I don't know who did Nigerians this. You
Something
can
is
see the
wrong.
video at the top. As Iranians were rejoicing, then
Something
look
is
at the
wrong
one below.
with the
You can
minds
see
of
Shiites
some
in Nigeria
Nigerians.
protesting
They are
over the
crazy.
death of the man.
These are the people who are being murdered every day. Their parents are being taken into captivity. Their children are being kidnapped from schools. They are protesting the killing of the sponsor of the terrorists killing them. Nigerians, you got problem in the brain, and it's in the north of Nigeria. Something is wrong. Something is very, very wrong. Yes, something is not right. Yes. And I hear come a young Hausa man, what he wrote. Yes, he was asking. He's a liberated young Hausa man. He's a Muslim. He was asking his Muslim compatriots. He went as far as calling them hypocrites for abandoning what is taking place in Nigeria. And they are protesting over the killing of Ayatollah Khamenei. He called them hypocrites, and that is befitting for them. No Nigerians should be seen doing that, except he or she is a hypocrite. Yes, so we have been waiting for statements from Saad Abubakar. Maybe the sponsored protest in Sokoto was his statement, but we know that he has not been sleeping in his garden palace since December 25th, when the United States rained hell on the terrorists are planning to destabilize Nigeria for that Christmas season. Saad Abubakar is a hypocrite and an infidel, and is destroying the Islamic religion in Nigeria. Their ancestors came on horseback, and they, their descendants, armed by France, China, and some Arab countries, driven by economics, are now on motorbikes, raping Hausa women in their mosques, kidnapping their men their livestock, displacing their communities, and occupying their lands, and shouting Allahu Akbar. Yes, that's what Fulani extremists, yes, sponsored by Saad, with arms procured from Iran, has been doing. Yes, they think we are stupid. Why? He should be sleeping in his palace. He's scared of his own shadow. So what happened in Iran must come to Nigeria. Yes, what happened in Iran should come to Nigeria, because Nigerians have been rendered weak. They cannot rise up. They are scared. They have been made so hungry and so weak that they cannot stand up for themselves. If America comes to stand up for them, who is going to say no to that? I won't say no. Call me any name you call me. Yes, yes, call me any name. I don't have an army to stop them. I've been all this period. I've been telling Nigerians, let us rise up. We can change Nigeria by ourselves. No, Nigerians have become so weak. They don't listen to anything unless you have food to give them. Food is most important to them than their freedom right now. That is how pathetic, that's how bad it is. Yes, that is how bad. So if you are joining us, you love what we are doing, give us a like, let us move forward, and let us unite Africa. Let's unite Nigeria and build a Nigeria that we can be proud of, a Nigeria that we can be happy of, to be citizens of. So we can stem the tide of unnecessary migration from that great country, from that great continent to elsewhere, where we are treated as less than animals. Yes, we can do it. We are the richest continent. Over 45% of the earth's resources reside in our country. My business is not to come and tell anybody what they want to hear, unless it's the truth. And that truth is what is going to set us free. Be angry right now. Yes, be angry as much as you want. But if we continue shying away from the truth, we will never go anywhere. Yes. So let us work for the truth. Let us join hands and rebuild our country. Let us be the ones, that will be giving help to others. Let our continent not be anymore that continent where that everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to give something to Africa. Everybody wants to give one thing or the other to Africa, one type of help, aid, and all that. Why will someone be giving you aid from what he got from you if you are sensible? Something to think about. So this is the reason why I made this broadcast today, and to condemn Nigerians. Focus, mind your business. Iranians don't care about you. They don't give a damn about you. Nobody cares about you. You have to care about yourself. Every other person who comes to Africa comes for the beauty of what they are going to come. The Chinese are coming now. All right? They are coming for what? They are coming for your resources. The Chinese are part of the problems. Those aiding terrorism in the north, especially in Zamfara state, where gold deposit was discovered. Chinese have been implicated as a part of those arming the people. All the gold that they have they take from Zamfara, they end up in China. Yeah, they end up with Chinese companies. They come and make a killing, and you are killing yourself. You are a black man. You don't know why you are black. You are stupid. Protesting against the murder of Ali Khamenei. You are an idiot. Yeah, so you are a fool because you are not thinking. You are not thinking. That you are not being human. That's not humanism. When we see it, real, we know it. But this is fake because you are ignorant. You are an idiot. Only idiots will do what you are doing. I hope it will not end up the way it ended up when I was injured. Yes, you killed thousands of fellow Nigerians over what was happening in Afghanistan. Yes, you should be ashamed of yourself. So, if you are a Nigerian today, in the north, especially, it only happens in the north. You won't see any person in the south of Nigeria um, coming to the street to dance because Israel, because they are Christians. No, you won't see. Never. Because they have minds. They think this is our place. Why should I take the life of another person? We may, yeah, some scholarly works, we are supposed to, talking about some of these things like I do. I don't talk about it and then be a fool. I lay it out in a manner that people will understand what is taking place, not to be an idiot. Give those young people in the north any little bit of arm, they will start killing, they will start looting, because that's all. They are blind, blinded, terribly blinded. It's time we woke up. Take care and have a good day. We appreciate all those who took time to join us in this stream and hope that we made an impact and that somebody will go home and start thinking, about how they should come in and get involved when all this type of things happen. And then be an ambassador of light. Teach people why they should not just be joining the bandwagon of religious madness. It's not about religion. It is about something else. We should wake up. Ali Khamenei is gone. It's not coming back again. And if the next leader behaves the way he's behaving, they will cut him down too. We want peace through justice for all mankind. Bye for now.